wanna get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky!
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rojan Kim?
California dreaming.
Hello and welcome to the Rojan Kim cast. It is I, Rojan Kim, your host of this show that you must be listening to, or somebody must be, maybe not. Who knows? But that's not why I do this, folks. I mean, of course I do it for you, the listener, but I don't do it to get listeners, like as if to get some kind of fame. I have no illusions about my reach, you know what I'm saying? My celebrity, you know, like if I was Joe Rogan instead of Rojan Kim, I would probably have a lot. Well, yes, I would have millions and millions of listeners. And of course, if I could only be Joe Rogan, I say to myself, I actually don't say that. Weirdly, this is a weird thing. Total tangent. Not what I was going to talk about, but, you know, I never really think about being somebody else. Now, is that because I'm incredibly narcissistic? Because I couldn't possibly, who could be better than me? Or is it because I'm secure? I'm so secure in being a 41-year-old open micer who's right now found a job making money under the table, kind of, or the PayPal table. I don't know. I guess the only one. I'm under the table for now, but I might be under the bus if PayPal throws me there. You know what I'm saying? That's a little clown horn. Like a bicycle. Jokes. I have jokes, guys. Sometimes I do think maybe I should have a niche podcast. Like, I've said this a couple times before, but maybe I should just only talk about wood. Like, if my podcast was a wood-focused cast, you know, just a wood cast, wood pod, oak, birch, pine. I mean, there's so many different types of wood to go through. You could go through the different trees and then the different cuts, different uses for the cuts to outweigh like 2x4s. Probably spend a good month on 2x4s, like 8 episodes solid on 2x4s, which coincidentally 2x4 is 8. So come on. But I think I would probably blow my brains out or bash my brains out with a 2x4 because, I don't know. I would get bored talking about the same thing over and over. And I guess it would be better for growing an organic audience of wood lovers, people who want to just geek out on wood. And I wish I could do that. I wish I could just geek out on one subject and keep it contained. But I go off on tangents. It's just the way my mind works. I mean, is it the marijuana? Probably. I mean, is it the fact that I'm high? Maybe. Yeah, but I'm always high. So that kind of, I don't know. I feel like that's just the great nullifier. You know what I mean? It's just moot. If I'm always high, it doesn't really make a difference. You know what I mean? I'm just that's actually the consistent thing. Not only that, you should have seen me before I started getting high. My mind was crazy. It was even, at least with this, with weed, it allowed me to not get so ensnared by the thoughts and just be like, you know what I mean? It allowed me to just be like, whoa, like take one step back and at least watch it happen. You know, I think definitely marijuana, definitely mushrooms, definitely acid, you know, psychedelics, weed in general. It's helped me gain that perspective that I need to not just be on the Indiana Jones minecart ride of my thoughts and just being like, Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones, you know, be able to just kind of step out of it and see that it's a video game, you know, and kind of watch it go down. And then I think the meditating really helps gain one more set of, I don't know, like steps away, I guess. Another set of steps. What am I saying? Yeah, just another perspective, you know, one more removed to just be like observational, you know what I mean? And that's been very interesting too because, you know, very simple process, you know, and I've been doing this for a few years now. 4 years now. Where every morning as soon as I wake up, set the timer for 20 minutes and I sit there. And that's it. And when I breathe in, I just go in. When I breathe out, I go out. Sometimes I don't. And then when a thought comes, like usually the first thought is maybe about like money or something, you know, something stupid, something like money. think about, I don't have any money. Right? If I had some money, I could do this. Or if I got, that's not really what I think about. That is a theme. I don't think that's what I think about first. That makes me sound so, whatever. I'm a human being. Fuck it. I think about money. And then you just label it. You go, money. And then let it go. And just let it go. One of the things that helped me was to think of things like birds, money as a bird. And just let it fly. During the beginning, what would end up happening is I would be surrounded by a flock of birds, all these thoughts, family, money, this, that, or other, just fucking surrounded. I'd be birds, and then I'd be in the movie, the birds in my mind for like a good 10 minutes, just running from all these birds. But eventually, the birds stopped attacking me, flew away, and they fly now. Sometimes I imagine a tunnel. That's my mind. I'm going through a tunnel. When a thought comes, it's like an obstruction. And so my goal is to widen the tunnel, just keep the tunnel going. These visualization techniques have helped, these sort of things, just to help keep me in there. I know ultimately I have to let go of those too, because those are also mental concepts that I'm hanging on to in order to make sense of, so it's like, it's been goddamn years and it's still hard to do 20 minutes because just to get to 20 minutes of pure mindfulness, it's very difficult. And it's weird because it's not like thinking about nothing, because that's also another concept you can hold on to and kind of think, it's really being free and observing. It's very weird. It's very, very strange that is the hardest thing in the world to do. I can crush 2 hours on my phone. It's on social, or whatever the fuck, Reddit, just like, easy, without blinking an eye. Yeah, yesterday, I definitely wasted like 4 hours just fucking online, just social, internet, just all of it, you know what I mean? Like, just nothing. No effort at all. But 20 minutes every day. 20 minutes is like it's like I almost dread it. I'm like, oh, God. Sometimes I don't do it. Sometimes I'm like, no, I will not today. It's the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath. Like, for some reason, it's the hardest fucking thing in the world. And I don't know why. I mean, well, I know. I mean, not know, but I have an inkling. I mean, I feel like our society sure isn't geared for it, right? Our society is basically built on continuously chasing our desires and grasping onto them, and really grasping onto things that we'll never attain, and so we'll never be happy, and so we'll always have some kind of deficit to fill, usually by buying stuff, and that's kind of where we're at, or by being afraid, and that's sort of kind of where I see myself, being surrounded in this culture. There's constant pressure to be afraid and to get stuff and to not feel good enough or whatever, and the fact is, that's hard enough on its own. Now try growing up, in a house full of neglect, broken home, dad who's never around, just a lot of neglect, a lot of emptiness in the house, a lot of a lack of social modeling and tools to really deal with a world that's seeking to ensnare you at every turn. Seeking to trap you with your desires, right? That's seeking to keep you stuck in a perpetual loop of chasing after something or not chasing after something, denying. So being just stuck in a loop of comfort, whatever the comfort is. Sometimes the comfort is being wholeheartedly into something and believing it and being like, this is the way things are. This is the way things are. And then, and otherwise there's also just opting out and just being like, you know what, I don't care. I just want to buy my stuff. Just want to watch my games, watch my shows and stories, and that's it. Just leave me alone. There's that. And I see you have every right to both. There's nothing wrong per se with either at any given moment. It's just when the entire country becomes one way or the other, or is polarizing right now, not just into this left-right bullshit, the Bloods and Crips, the fake Bloods and Crips of the political parties that's going on. It goes on every 4 years. Everybody gets whipped into a frenzy, becomes Bloods and Crips, and it's all kind of seemingly meaningless symbolism to me, considering we've been at war. Here I go again about the war. But yeah, considering we've been at war, both parties expanded wars. Yeah, there's no difference, right? It's kind of a sham. Feels like the only difference is like whether you use pronouns or not. So, anyways. I find it funny that the news right now, it's like, is Bernie electable even though he keeps winning? Like, that's That's what they keep asking. Bernie. And then you got people being like, I don't know. It's a socialism. Socialism is coming. I remember France in 1940. You know, fucking Chris Matthews and fucking all these goddamn motherfuckers invoking Nazis and Russia. We got Nazis and Russians now, guys. Nazis and Russians, right? And they're everywhere, and people are paranoid and like, how do we know they're not seeking to divide us and destroy? It's like, dude, that's the same paranoia people must have about the United States, and they have more reason to, don't they? Like, we are the ones invading countries, fucking regime changing and fucking overthrowing elections. We're the one doing it, and then we accuse other countries of doing it. I mean, it just seems like it's kind of obvious that the United States would be trying to meddle in your elections if you were not the United States. As that's just how it feels. So now, as the United States, we're trying to join the club. We're like, no, we're being meddled with too, and we probably are. But wouldn't you, if there was a unipower, like a global superpower that's unipolar, just one, wouldn't you seek to undermine it at every turn? Because it's undermining you. You can be goddamn sure of that. And the fact that there is a unipolar global superpower means that you've just kind of created a tension between that power and everybody else. It's automatic conflict just by having. That's the whole one of the nice things about having a Cold War with two superpowers when it was bipolar. That was great. You know, two powers capable of mutually assured destruction, keeping each other in check. What a glorious time. That's what, you know, one of the greatest times in this country economically. Not so much for black people, but for poor people, pretty good, you know. And honestly, economically, for black people, it was better for them. You know, maybe socially not so much, but economically, like a black person back in the 50s and 60s could have a full-time job and have a family and a home and all those things everybody else had. They could do that back then. So that's weird, right? Considering, I mean, they weren't allowed to segregate in schools, but they could at least make a living wage. Okay, and now look at us after post-welfare, right? Post-neoliberalism, the deregulation of all this shit, the globalization of our markets, the fucking of our labor, of capital, all that. Now look, poor people are fucked more than ever, including black people, right? Just all the poor people in general, way more fucked, right? And then people are wringing their hands about the rise of socialism. What does it mean? What does it mean? And who are these people? The fucking rich media elites, rich political elites, right? Fucking people make a lot. Okay, maybe they're not rich, whatever, but they want to be in the in club, right? They're like, the rabble stinks. The poor stink on ice. That's really the people. Fuck the people. What are we gonna do about our jobs? There's all these, you know, Thomas Friedman. Yeah, Thomas Friedman didn't have that much trepidation about invading Iraq, right? He's totally fine about fucking the globalization of our industries, which has kind of put us in this position of now where we're seeing the rise of global nationalism and populism as a rejection of these neoliberal fucking policies, fucking Lexus and the Olive Branch or whatever. Thomas Friedman's the guy who said, like, no two countries who have McDonald's will ever go to war. That's fucking the dumbest thing. There were McDonald's in Iraq, right? This is the dumbest fucking thing. You know, just shut up. It's yeah, that's why people all over the world are voting in right-wing governments who are promising protectionism, right? Immigration barriers, things like that, right? Yeah, that's why Thomas Friedman, you fucking genius, right? He didn't fucking say anything about, you know, didn't wring his hands about fucking poisoning the water in Flint. He didn't say anything about that. He wasn't all concerned about the Russiagate shit, about baiting about Russia and how that fucking pushes us closer and closer to a nuclear war we don't really need to fight. We were supposed to be away from the possibilities of nuclear war. That was the whole point of the fall of the Soviet Union and us emerging as the world superpower, is that Pax Americana, right? Like there was supposed to be no more nuclear war threat. Because we got it, you know, China, we're not going to fuck with China, the other nuclear power, you know, Iran we're going after, but we were saying, like, it's the end of nuclear war. Now with this Russiagate thing, dude, we are going toward, we've made more nuclear weapons now than ever before. Look, if Trump is a Russian asset, why are we out of the fucking nuclear treaty? Why is NATO being expanded? Why are there sanctions being placed on Russian companies, right? Why are we militarizing even more? Why did we send Ukraine that military aid that we tried to accuse Trump of trying to withhold, which he didn't withhold, and then he gave them, escalating the proxy war that's being fought between Russia and the Ukraine right now? Why are we escalating tensions with Russia when we're still in 7 wars in the Middle East and Africa? I don't know. No hand-wringing over that. Yeah, it's going to come back to wars. Why is it always about war? Because we're living in a fantasy world where war is just this separate antiseptic thing that doesn't affect our lives. Like it's just a separate thing that just like soccer, it's like we don't really care about soccer. It doesn't really affect our lives, but it's going on out there in the world. We acknowledge that, man. That. Yeah, you don't think that the fact that our money goes, it's our money, the tax money, our money goes into funding weapons that are killing people all over the world, and they see shrapnel, right? Just like Iron Man 1, man. Just think of Iron Man 1. When Tony Stark saw that it came from Stark Industries, the missile that was fired at him, he had that big moment of like, oh, bro, I got to become Iron Man. Stop it. That's what it feels like, all right? You can relate to that. We could all relate to that. Of course, Tony Stark went to give the Iron Man suit to the U.S. military for some reason, but whatever, okay? Whatever. We're talking about Iron Man 1, right? Back when it was like, fight the establishment, and, it's just like every president. Iron Man 1 is like, fight the establishment. He gets in. I am the establishment, right? I am Iron Man and the establishment, and 22 more movies to go, guys. Billions of dollars. Let's go. Cha-ching. Anyways, there's all this hand-wringing. Not about all the war, not about all the decimation of our environment, not about the decimation of our middle class and lower class, just decimation of the lower classes in general, as the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. No hand-wringing about that, but oh no, Bernie, oh no. And, I don't know, I'm not completely 100% sold on Bernie, but I feel like I will vote for him in the primary just to show that he's got votes, right? Just to show. And I feel like if it was between Trump versus Bernie, I'm going to give the socialists a shot. Let's give the commie a shot. That's what I say. All we've been doing is saying that communism is bad. But let's just give it a shot. What's wrong with it? Come on. And honestly, the guy's not really a commie. The guy's going to get in, be like every other president, okay? He's not going to be able to do... You think they're going to fucking let him do everything? The entire centrist establishment is not going to let him get away with everything that he's going to do, okay? So what he's going to have to do first is mobilize a populist movement to take over, to do the midterms, to try to get his shit passed, right? So it's just going to be more infighting, more politics, more accusations of him being a Russian agent or a fucking, I don't know, German agent or whatever, some kind of Chinese, whatever. And that's who we should really be worried about, guys. Honestly, we should be worried about Xi Jinping, the Chinese dictator, who's just had a fucking clumsy waiter approach to the coronavirus. So now here we are, facing a global pandemic, guys, of epic proportions. Are we dead yet? Are we dead? I just feel like, look, yes, it could be a pandemic. 2% of the world could die. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But honestly, we're probably in a way better place than most people, in the United States. It's probably better off. Right? We have a lot more social distancing here than we do in China, right? And honestly, I feel like the news has really fucked us up with this because all they've been doing is like coronavirus, China, Wuhan, coronavirus. Here's a picture of a lady munching bats. Like, oh my God. They're like doing nothing to actually inform the public. It's like, so how is this thing spread? Like, it's like we know it's not just Chinese people, right? Not just something Chinese people give off, or is it just them dying? Like, it's just really not clear. Is it only Chinese people dying? Are there white people dying? Should we be scared? White people, don't worry, they're not dying. Don't be afraid. I don't know. They're not really informing us. Wash your hands. They're not even telling everybody to wash. Just what they should be doing is obsessively telling everybody to wash their hands. That would get more done than just being like, Wuhan, bat munching, coronavirus, Chinese people. Because then now all the Asians have to be like, listen, we're not Chinese, all right? They got the virus, not... It's just forcing everyone's hand to play this weird tribal, racist, fear-mongering game when really the news should be informing the public. Like they should really be telling people what precautions to take, how to watch out, why to not be racist. Instead of being racist, wash your hands, you dummies. How about that? That'll actually help. That'll help. Being racist is not going to help. You're going to go cluster with your own kind. Is that what you're going to do? Meanwhile, one of them will probably get sick with it, and then you'll all get fucked because the whole time you thought it was only Chinese people who could get you sick. And meanwhile, fucking, I don't know, Karen there is fucking sniffling away and spreading it, and fucking giving everybody hugs. All right, Karen. I gotta stop using Karen as a goddamn fucking white lady. It's just overused. Cliche. Karen is cliche. All right. Well, man, guys, I almost got a gun. Not for any nefarious, not to do it, for hunting and for shooting. I just want to learn how to shoot. Okay, something wrong with that. I found a gun. I'm just looking online and I'm like, wow. Guns are cheap. I mean, well, I found like a shotgun, a nice, like a single shot shotgun, little 20 gauge, little starter. Found a little nice little 22 rifle, little starter, for $100 each. But and I was about to jump on it. I mean, there's this whole process you gotta fucking do in California. It's a 10-day waiting period. You got background check. You got background check for ammo. You gotta get your addresses matching. You gotta do all this shit. There's a lot of stuff to do. Plus, there's a 30-day waiting period for used guns or whatever. Very hard. Eventually, I talked myself down off of purchasing any firearms for the moment. Mostly because I live in a one-bedroom apartment. I don't have a gun safe. I have no place where I just shove it in my closet. Like, I got no place to put a fucking gun. But I did decide, this is a skill I do want to have. Like, I don't want to be like helpless. I mean, in some ways, the Second Amendment is our wall. That's our wall. That's the only thing we got left, as the fucking the militarization of the government, the police. You got this total militarization, military industrial complex taking over government, police. People. There could be food riots. There could be. So I don't know. At least I want to learn to hunt an animal and eat the meat of the animal so as to start to unhook myself from the industrialized meat process. Is that so bad? Huh? That's so bad? Crazy bastards who want to outsource your killing. You fucking crazy bastards. So one of the things I decided to do is like, okay, instead of the shooting, getting all shooty, how about just learning some outdoorsman skills, some hiking, some glassing, some scouting. So I signed up for this. I just randomly found out about it in my internet travels. There's a bighorn sheep survey, a bighorn sheep survey going on in the San Gabriel Mountains. It's where they count the population of the sheep. So I'm gonna go scout, see if I can find some sheep, not shoot them, but count them. Meet some people, hike the mountains. I got some hiking boots, huh? Got me a job, so got me able to get me some a hiking backpack, hiking boots, fucking compass, binoculars, shit like that. I realize I'm probably gonna die out there. I will not die. I will have a partner. I will have water. Come on, I don't think you can. Well, I guess you could. It is a wilderness. They do recommend having emergency shit, but that is all par for the course when you're hiking, right? So I don't have a gun, so I'm not no danger of shooting myself. Biggest danger is wandering off and being lost, just dying out in the mountains. So that's a possibility. But hey, you gotta live, people. You gotta live. You can't just be sheltered in your little home waiting for the Amazon to bring you shit, right? Fucking, you gotta wait for them to bring you stuff to go out into the woods and die. That's how you live. All right, guys. I'm sorry. That's I'm gonna be fine. I'm just hiking, not by myself. Bunch of people, sheep, right? It's all part of me. One day I'm gonna use those skills to hunt jackrabbit. I don't know. This is all kind of silly. It's silly, but it's whatever. I gotta keep myself busy. You know what I mean? The idle mind, idle hands, or the devil's playthings, or I don't know, whatever the fuck. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Do I have a show coming? I do. I have a show coming up in April, so it's not. We're gonna try to get booked more. Yeah, whatever. You know what to do. Follow me, Twitter, Instagram. Get out there. Rojan Kim. Follow me online. Go to my website. Bump up my numbers. Go to my Spotify. Go to Spotify. Libsyn, whatever. Spread the word about the podcast. Be like, hey, you want to hear a crazy guy ramble for like 20, 30 minutes? Here you go. whatever. You don't even have to do anything. Just the fact that you made it this far is much appreciative. So I thank you so much for listening. And until next time.